Shabbos, Parak 17, Mishnah 4 and 5.
Shabbos Parak Yudzayin, Mishnah Dalet. Rabbi Yosef yomer kol hakelim nitolin, chutz min hamasa hagodol v'yosid shel macharesho. We just said before that there's two types of muktzah. There's muktzah machmas gufoy, when the thing itself has no usage on Shabbos, and then there's something called a kli. It has a use, it has a tzorich, and it has a shimush. But its shimush is a davar shalissa, like a hammer. These two kelim are something in between. Maser hagodol is a big, something that's used for cutting boards. A yosid shel macharesha is what makes the furrows in the field. These two tools are precision tools. B'yom didan, we would have a lot more instances of that. A computer is also something that one is not going to use for other things. The point of these two kelim is that nobody's going to use them for a nutcracker because they're precision. They have to be sharp. Izemel shomila is another case that the Gemara uses. It's a knife. Right? It's a knife that's used for a ma'isa chavol. It's a ma'isa that's malach on Shabbos. Not a klisha malach delisa, because nobody would use a milah knife. It has to be perfect. And because of that, nobody would ever use a milashon knife. Every moil would never use it for buttering bread. So Mela, that type of muktzah, on the one hand, it's a kli. On the other hand, it won't be used for anything on Shabbos because the things that it would be used for, you're not allowed to do. They're malachas. So Mela, they're not used at all, even though they're kelim. They're muchanim, but they're not muchanim for any use on Shabbos. We call that muktzah machmas chesar kis. They're not muktzah legamri. The reason why they have no usage whatsoever is machmas chesar kis, because you don't want to destroy the kelim. Again, like we said, a computer would fall under the same thing. Most tools, not a heavy tool, not a screwdriver or a hammer. These things are pashut pieces of metal. But anything that has electric, you're not going to use to crack open nuts. You're going to break one of the pieces. Anything delicate, you're not going to use for something else. So the halacha is on these type of kelim that they're not nitolim. There's no hetel tzarich gufa mekaymer, but they have a din of muktzah machmas atzmam, even though it's only machmas chesar kis that they're muktzahim. That's the chapir. Kol hakelim, then the Mishnah says, is the Tanakama nitolim l'tzorich v'shalei l'tzorich. We're talking over here about regular kelim, cups, forks, knives, plates, etc. Regular kelim that are l'tashmish shel heter. Nitolim l'tzorich, you're allowed to carry them both l'tzorich atzma, or shalei l'tzorich, even totally not l'tzorich. That means, let's say you want to put away dishes. They're on the counter, they're not getting anybody's way. You don't need the counter space. You want to put them away because you want to put them away. Not a problem. They're outside, you want to bring them inside. That's what the Gemara calls michama l'tzel, l'tzel l'chama, etc. These type of tashmishin are all mutter. There is a shit in the Rishonim that holds that the tiltul has to be for some usage. You want to put things away. That itself is some type of usage. Not l'tzoyrich mamish of the kli, but you want to put it away. But stam is to move things around. Stam shifting kelim, moving from place to place. Stam is you're not allowed to move it around. You want to play around with the fork that's on the table. You want to just move it from place to place. That you shouldn't do. L'maisa, most of the Rishonim hold like the other shita that says that a klisha malachta laheter, it has no limitations whatsoever. Once they took off the original gzeira of Nechemia ben Chachalya that was enacted in a time of crisis, Lamaisa they didn't put it back. A kelim shemalachta laheter are mutter legamri. This that the Mishnah says shalei l'tzarech means shalei l'tzarech at all, not just shalei l'tzarech tashmish off of the space. Nechemia, no shaykhis with the name Nechemia ben Chachalya, who was the, so to speak, the ruler of Yerushalayim at that kufa in the beginning of Bayesheni. But the Tana Rebbe Nechemia says, Ein niton l'tzarich. Even a klisha malachta leheter has no heter l'tzarich gufay umekaymai. I'm sorry, it has a heter l'tzarich umekaymai. It doesn't have a heter michama l'tzel mitzel l'chama. Reb Nechemia upgrades, and he says that even after they took off the gzeira, shalei l'tzarich at all, they kept on the gzeira's kelim. Remember that the gzeira's kelim of klish malach l'isser are also on things that have a shimush. It's not enim and amuchan like we said. It's a gzeira's kelim. not to needlessly move things around. So if it's needless, you're not allowed to move it around. If it's only mitzel, you're not allowed to move it around, even though it's clearly kelim shemalach l'hasa. He'll hold, by the way, he'll upgrade, the Gemara says, and on a kli shemalachto le'iser, he'll hold there's no hetel l'tzarech gufa mekaymai. So the Tanakama, and that's the way we paskin, is a downgrade, is a nechois darga from the two dinim amuktzah of Nechemia. If Nechemia holds a kelim shemalach l'heter are also micham l'tzel, but they mutal l'tzarech gufa mekaymai. Kli shemalach l'isa is also even l'tzarech gufa mekaymai. The Tanakama holds that shalol l'tzarech at all, or at least micham l'tzel mitzel l'kama, is mutter by a kelim shemalach l'heter. Kli shemalach l'isa is mutter al kol ponim l'tzarech gufa u mekaymai. Mishnah Hey, this is a similar idea to what we had mentioned in Mishnah Aleph. Kol ha-kelim ha-nitolin b'Shabbos, anything you're allowed to move around on Shabbos. Shivrein nitolin nimoim, if pieces fell off, pieces cracked off, you're allowed to carry those, they're part of the kli still. Ubulvat sheyu oisim ein melocha. You have a piece of a dish that broke off, you can use it a little bit as a dish. But also, it wouldn't, a cracked piece of a plate, you would never use as a plate. But they would have shivrei areva, part of a kli arevo, which is made out of reeds, l'chasas b'emes pi'achovis. It would be used to cover over a chovis. They didn't have silver foil or plastic bags. Shivrei schuchis, l'chasas b'emes pi'apach. Pieces of glass would be used to cover over a jug. You see how he says it? The Tanakama says, any malacha. If it's just a piece of glass on the floor and it doesn't do anything, then avad it's muktzah. It's only when it can do something, it has some type of usage, despite the fact that it broke on Shabbos. And it was not min hamuchon for that minor usage before Shabbos, it's okay, you're allowed to carry. Masha'inkein, if it's, according to Rabbi Yehuda, it has to be oisim ein malachton, it has to be kegoin shivrei areva lotzuk l'soichon mikbo. It has to be that you could put something in, and not something that was a jug, and now you could cover a jug. That's not me'ein malachto, that's me'ein malacha. Me'ein malachto means you could put something in and use it as a jug on a smaller scale, a sloppy jug, a primitive jug. V'shel schuchis, lotzuk l'teichen shemen, with the whole, a minute amount of shemen. Now the Gemara says that Rabbi Yehuda only argues on the Tanakam by things that were broken on Shabbos. There's a concept that's known as noilad. Noilad means there's a form of muktzah of something that has a hachana now. It is Aimid L'Shimush, but it wasn't Aimid L'Shimush in the present form before Shabbos. Like we just said, a piece of a broken glass, now you can use it as a cup for my machronim. No. It could hold a little water, but it certainly wasn't Aimid L'Kach for my machronim when it was a drinking glass before Shabbos. So it's noilatz, it's something new. It's minamuchon right now to be used for something, but it's noilat klape, the beginning of Shabbos. It wasn't in the present form. That Rabbi Yehuda says you can't use. But if it was that way before Shabbos, then when Shabbos came in, it was a Maimach cup. It wasn't any more drinking glass. So that would be okay.